From Hollywood, time once again for Money TV. I'm Don Baillargeon. Thanks for joining us. Money TV is a program all about money and what makes it happen. It's hard to believe, but in just a few weeks, we're going to mark the anniversary of the 2016 presidential election. Now, half the country appears to still be in shock, however, as the mainstream media has refused to let go of the fact that their candidate did not win. The Hillary Clinton Blame Game book tour was center stage the last few days. It even managed to strip the horrific damage of two major hurricanes from the headlines. Now, Clinton's growing list of whose fault her loss was now includes the Democrat Party, Vladimir Putin, James Comey, people who didn't vote, Bernie Sanders, sexism, women voters, Anthony Weiner, the Electoral College, the New York Times, cable TV news, Twitter, Netflix, voter ID laws. Well, you kind of get the idea. It's everyone's fault but hers. And the fact that we're still talking about this almost a year later is borderline insane. She's even floated the idea of contesting the election because the Russians must have had something to do with it. How about we just accept the election results after nearly a year and focus on the matters at hand? We've got a crazy dictator in North Korea playing Xbox with real nuclear weapons. We have the aftermath of natural disasters at home with potentially more on the way. We have California declaring itself a sanctuary state for illegal immigrants. We have rioting in St. Louis. We have many more things to worry about than who won the election last year. Now, Hollywood certainly didn't get that email. The Emmy Awards were pre-hyped as a Trump bash-a-palooza, and the American people responded by handing the event their lowest TV ratings in history. Maybe, just maybe, people really do love America and want to make it great again. I saw great Americans helping other Americans after Harvey and Irma. Didn't see anyone from Antifa or BLM in those pictures. I saw great Americans donating money and resources to those suddenly in need. Didn't hear of any such donations by George Soros. 9 and 5 years ago on this show, I wished President Obama success as president in both of his terms, regardless of the fact I voted for his opponent each time. Wishing your president would fail makes as much sense as wishing failure for the pilot of the airplane you're flying in. The election results are so 2016, it's way past time to move on. Now, here's something you never have to move on from. It's our toll-free number, good from anywhere in the world you're watching the program. 888-259-4449 for free information about our featured guests. When you do call, be sure and ask to be added for the subscription list of our Money TV newsletter. Again, it's free, toll-free from anywhere in the world, 888-259-4449. Visit us at MoneyTV.net, and please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And our first guest is joining us now on the phone, Mr. Dave Massey. Dave is the CEO of Solar Integrated Roofing Corporation. Their stock symbol's SIRC. Dave, welcome back to the program.
Hey, Don, thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to share with the stockholders and the viewers today about everything going on with SIRC.
Well, we're very pleased to be reinitiating coverage of the company. Now, Solar Integrated Roofing Corporation, you describe yourself as an integrated solar and roofing installation company. You specialize in commercial and residential properties, and now you're focused on acquisitions of like companies to build a footprint nationally. Can you give us a general overview of the company, Dave?
You know, currently we're very, very excited about what's going on with the revenues and the profits. These last 2 months have been record months for profits, and that's been very exciting for us. We have a lot of good things going on that I think that we should cover during this call that we're having today.
Well, in previous discussions that we've had, Dave, you said your team is able to demonstrate to customers that adding solar to a roofing project ends up paying for itself almost immediately.
That's a sizzle that we have is 99% of the time we can meet with a residential homeowner, look at their electric bill, show them a solar roofing proposition that we can finance it on a low-interest loan and get them a payment that's less than their electric bill. So we satisfy their roofing needs, and we lower their monthly costs without them putting any money down or any money up front, which is makes obviously our sales process much easier because of our ability to get homeowners. Like, I say it all the time to folks is no one really has a roofing budget, and typically a roofing cost is $10,000 to $20,000, and no one's really prepared for that. So we can come see someone and show them that hey, listen, don't worry about the $10,000, $20,000. We can show you a roofing solar project that's less than their electric bill. They get really excited about it, and it makes for an easy sell.
It must be an advantage for your company. You can do both roofing and solar simultaneously.
Oh, by far. I mean, it's funny, a lot of solar companies have added roofing contractors, a lot of roofing contractors have added solar contractors, but we're still one of the only companies that do both. We do everything in-house. We don't subcontract anything. So we feel like it's a big advantage by price point and by, the homeowner feels much more stable with one company doing both.
Now, the company recently unveiled a corporate strategy to address rapid growth through sales and acquisitions. Tell us about that.
We're really excited. We have 3 acquisitions, very local, that are teed up with some older roofing companies that have been around for 40 years where the owner is getting ready to retire. We're looking at a gutter company where the owner's getting ready to retire. And, it's sad to say I've been a roofing contractor for 30 years, but there's not a lot of value to a lot of folks of buying a roofing company because it's just so easy to start one. You get your license, you can start one up. But with us, our value is the 40-year of client base where we can go back and see them that they've done the roofs for. We can add solar. We can add a lot of it. There's a lot of advantages to reaching out to the past clients and expanding our revenue to that point and adding the solar to the new clients. So we're really excited about that.
Well, Dave, what do you look for in an acquisition target company?
We're looking for established, believe it or not, roofing companies to kind of do what we've done, where they just sell roofing and they don't know the benefits of selling roofing and solar. But we're looking for someone that's stable, as I mentioned earlier, that has a lot of past clients that we can add the solar piece to and give them a extended roof warranty. And there's a benefit to both us and the homeowner.
Now, I know that you're planning on restructuring both your management team and your board of directors. Tell us about that.
Oh, my gosh, I'm so excited about that. I've been doing this all by myself all this time, and we have 2, in my case, I say young guys, but they're in their mid-40s, and they have 15-plus years in the solar industry. They work for 2 very large local solar companies here in the area. They have a lot of contacts. They have tons of knowledge. We're going to bring them on as a COO and the president of the company. They're going to add to the board of directors. We're also adding he's currently a consultant. We're going to add him on to the board of directors. He has 50-plus years in the public arena, and he has a lot of experience for us. So it's taken a while to put our plans together, but I'm really, really excited of finally getting the help and finally getting the team in place that we can really start making things happen.
Well, Dave, why is this a good time right now for people to take a closer look at your company?
Oh, my gosh, I think I just mentioned it. With the team being in place, the plans coming together, the profits are in place, and everything's working out. I guess for the magic term, Don, is the stars are starting to align, and our dream and our plan is starting to come together.
Once again, Solar Integrated Roofing Corporation, SIRC is their ticker symbol. Dave, we're again reinitiating coverage of the company. Looking forward to more updates from you over the next several weeks. Thanks so much for joining us.
Don, thank you. Appreciate the call.
Take care. Well, I'm very pleased to welcome our next guest here in studio, Mr. William Sawyer. Bill is the CEO of West Texas Resources Incorporated. Their stock symbol is WTXR. Bill, it's great to see you.
Thank you, Don. It's great to be on your show.
Now, we've had you on the program many, many times over the years. You are what I've always referred to as the quintessential Texas oil man. But now you're operating in California.
Yes, we're trying to acquire some properties here in California and believe that this is a great opportunity.
Well, now, what's really interesting is that you're looking in Kern County, California, specifically where Bakersfield is located, for those who are not familiar with that part of California. But Kern County is one of the largest oil-producing counties in the entire country.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It has 3 gigantic fields. One of the fields used to produce 3.2 million barrels a day. Mm-hmm. But it's a great place to be, and there's a lot of oil in Kern County, a lot of oil.
Now, when we used to talk to you before years ago, you know, your business model was taking shut-in wells, which are basically wells that have been shut down because the technology wasn't there to extract the oil any longer. Maybe they thought the well had gone dry. And then you take these shut-in wells with new technology and able to make them productive again. Are you doing the same thing now?
Yes, we are. We take shut-in or low-producing wells and do improvement on them, but we also look for underlying value. And the underlying value may be a zone behind pipe, or it may be a deeper zone. We like to find an underlying value because that enhances the property value down the road.
Well, of course, one of the oldest sayings in the oil business is the best place to look for oil is next to where oil's already been found. And basically what you're doing is you're basically looking and revitalizing wells where existing reserves already are there, correct?
That is true, and one of the reasons is that in most oil productive zones, you produce about 10, maybe 7% of the oil that's available, whereas you might be able to produce as much as 25% of the oil that's there.
Now, in the Kern County area, and specifically areas around Bakersfield, obviously because that's such an oil-rich area and the oil industry is so prevalent in that market, all the infrastructure you need to accomplish your goals already exists. You don't have to create anything, do you?
No, you don't have to, and that's one of the things I like about going into old fields is you have infrastructure there. Step out or exploratory type wells, you often have no infrastructure at all. And after you drill the first well, it may be 2 years before you actually get the infrastructure in to develop it.
Now, your company is 100% land-based, 100% domestic. There's no overseas, there's no offshore stuff going on. We know where it is, correct?
That is correct. All onshore, all lower 48 states. We have some properties currently in Texas, and we're trying to acquire properties in California.
I was going to ask you about that because, of course, the name of the company is West Texas Resources. So you do have properties currently in Texas that are producing, and you're basically expanding to California. Is that an accurate statement?
That is a very accurate statement. We're also expanding in Texas also. We're looking at some other properties.
Now, when you're looking at areas that are, as we refer to the term, shut-in wells or low-producing wells, and you're looking to make that acquisition, because those wells are not producing, so to speak, as you would expect, I would imagine the acquisition costs are much less than you would expect otherwise.
Yes, that's true. That is very true, and that's one of the reasons we do it. We go into areas that nobody really wants.
Okay.
And because we want to be there first. We don't want to be followers. We want to be there first. We want to find something that's there, and we want to improve what's there and move into the direction that we've got continued production, but at low cost. We want the finding value of it to be low cost.
Now, at what price per barrel can the company still make a profit? I mean, I know that oil prices, they fluctuate up and down. I mean, you know, right now, because of what's gone on in the hurricanes, we've seen gas prices and the price of a barrel of oil go up slightly because the refineries are shut down. But at what price per barrel of oil can the company still make a profit?
Well, we can make a profit below $30 a barrel. Yes, and we did in a previous company I was in. We made a good profit at $30 a barrel. In fact, we made a profit at $25 a barrel. Everything we bought was aimed at $25 and $30 a barrel to make profit. Now oil I saw today is at $50 a barrel, and that's almost double what it was back when in 2005, 2006.
That's right.
So I think that we have a great opportunity. I believe the oil price is good today. I don't believe it's low. I believe it's good today. I think it will probably get higher, but we can make money at $30 a barrel easily.
I want to go back to the subject of the shut-in wells because I always find that subject so interesting. But when you are looking at shut-in wells and you're looking to acquire those properties, about how long have these wells been shut in, so to speak? What's the average time?
It's all over the place.
It is all over the place.
Sometimes the wells have only been shut in 6 months or a year.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes they've been shut in for years. One of the advantages, and several years back, we did some wells in south central Texas, and those wells had been shut in, some of them for 5 or 10 years. Well, what happens is your pressure builds back up in the wells, and you get a higher fluid level in the wells, which allows your initial production to be a lot greater. And so it doesn't make any difference whether they're short-term or long-term. We look at both of them, and we look at what the potential is that we can get out of them.
Once again, the company is West Texas Resources Incorporated. The stock symbol is WTXR. Bill, it's always fascinating discussing not only your company, but the industry as a whole. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Don. Appreciate it.
I've had this problem.
Big problem.
I really needed
a good investment forum.
And I kept searching.
and searching.
There are so many choices.
It's really hard to find one that has all the things on my list.
But I finally did it.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
If you were looking for one as well,
Look no further.
Here's a really good one.
Just use mine.
Use mine.
I'm very satisfied.
Definitely recommend.
Problem gone.
thank you.
Have you heard the news? There's only one flat-fee news distribution network on the market. It's called Access Wire, and it's exclusively from Issuer Direct. Any day, anytime, the Access Wire News Network can deliver your press release to more than 1,500 media outlets in 98 countries. Access Wire also delivers real-time engagement analytics. You will learn who read and shared your press release and more. Best news of all, getting started is easy. Visit accesswire.com and extend your company's news reach today.
We are back. Thanks for staying with us, and joined on the phone now by Tom Djokovic. Tom is the CEO of XOX Incorporated. XSNX is their stock symbol. Tom, welcome back to the program.
Don, it's great to be back. Thanks.
Well, I know you're a busy CEO. You're actually in the car driving from job site to job site. Appreciate you checking in with us. What's the latest with the company?
Well, Don, we have a lot of exciting going on, especially in the energy storage area. We've kind of moved into that space, starting to deliver projects with energy storage. We're bidding a lot of projects where we're including energy battery storage systems, and they're really working well. We've actually turned the first one on, and it's just doing amazing things for the client, helping them save tremendous amounts of money.
Well, that is so remarkable because, of course, you know, you're headquartered in Southern California where the sun shines just about every day, but it doesn't shine at night, doesn't shine on cloudy days. So you're able now to store the electricity the sun is creating when the sun is working?
Absolutely. And then the systems are smart enough to where they monitor the power usage and then they prevent the customer from crossing over into the expensive rates with their utility, both the time of use rates and something else that's even more expensive, which is called demand fees. It virtually, and in most instances, can completely eliminate demand fees, which are typically about 50% of a customer's bill. So it's amazing technology.
So your system can determine when to allow the power to go out to offset the surcharges, so to speak, from the electric companies.
Absolutely, absolutely. So when this, in the early morning or nighttime hours or late evening when the sun's not shining, the battery storage systems step in and literally and intelligently deliver power. They also know when to charge, so that they'll recharge during the day when the solar system's overproducing. So it's, like I said, it's quite amazing technology, and it's something that's delivering a lot of value and a lot of potential value to future clients. So we're excited about presenting it to numerous potential clients.
So when you're talking to a commercial property owner, I mean, this must be an extraordinarily attractive option to them, not only bringing in the solar power, bringing in the storage as well.
Yes, because as I mentioned earlier, utility charges what's called a demand fee, which is incidental use surcharge for your peak power use. And that, like I said, can be quite often 50% of a commercial customer's bill. So if a customer has a $5,000 a month bill and $2,500 of that is demand fees, and we could tell him that we could all but eliminate that, it literally turbocharges the value of the entire investment. It takes it from simply eliminating somewhere between 50 to 60% of the monthly charge with solar alone to virtually 100% with the demand fee reduction. And it really turbocharges the investment. In most instances, a customer winds up investing more capital in the total scope of the system because we've added the energy storage cost. But the payback can often be much quicker than had it just been solar alone. So it's like I said, it's just a double whammy. It's amazing technology, and it helps save money faster for the client.
Once again, XNX Incorporated, XSNX is a stock symbol. Tom, fascinating. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Don. Talk to you soon.
And joining us now on the phone is Maxine Pearson. Maxine is the CEO of a company called MJ Biotech Incorporated. MJTV is their stock symbol. Maxine, wonderful to talk to you.
Thank you so much, Don. Great to chat with you again as well.
Well, I want to first congratulate you as being appointed CEO of the company. Why don't you tell us again what the company does?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Delighted. Keeping me busy indeed. Our core business is that of the holistic medical area, vitamins, and we're especially excited about Zen's tea. That is our area in California. We've had stellar success. We've partnered with the holistic physician community, the medical community, and actually right now, Don, it's pretty exciting. We're in over 50 sites in California, and we're growing.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, of course, holistic is really gaining a lot of momentum as people are steering away from pharmaceuticals and Western medicine, so to speak, and holistic is really gaining a lot of speed and momentum, as it were.
Absolutely. It's huge. Not only is it becoming more and more popular, but more and more mainstream, let's call it, the AMA physician community. It's getting more and more credibility, and that's been very exciting for us. We see a huge number of opportunities to grow, and that's why we are growing, and we are getting so many hits on our website. We're getting wonderful stories about weight loss, people feeling better, and that's what it's all about. Zen's tea has been around since about 2012, and because they really believe in what they do. We really believe in what we do. I think that's one of the reasons we've been so successful and able to enjoying the farmers markets community, the retail community, and the holistic physicians.
Well, tell us about some of the various strains of tea that you offer.
Absolutely. Well, there are many, and we also have custom-made teas. Oh, I should tell you, Don, one of the more interesting areas is that holistic physicians even write prescriptions for our teas, so that does set us apart. But I have to tell you now, my personal favorite, I love something called Golden Milk, and it's one of our biggest sellers. It's turmeric based, and my personal bias is to put some on vanilla yogurt, but hey, that's just me. If you go on our website, everybody has their favorite. But turmeric is well known for helping with inflammation, about 100 other diseases and conditions. Not only it improves, it makes you feel wonderful. Inflammatory diseases, people feel good when they have it, and it tastes good. Because if it doesn't taste good, they won't eat it.
That's right. If it doesn't taste good, who's going to drink it, right?
And my second favorite, and I think this is one of our best sellers, it's called Hawaiian Fruit. Oh my gosh, it's caffeine free, and I call it a fruit cup in a cup. It's really good. So that's what's keeping us busy, and we're very excited, Don, and really we see a lot of other areas that are just yet to be untapped in this market.
Once again, the company is MJ Biotech Incorporated. MJTV is their stock symbol. We've been speaking with the newly appointed CEO, Maxine Pearson. Maxine, congratulations again. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Don. My pleasure indeed. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Take care. And calling into us now is Mr. Carl Schilling. Carl is the founder of an organization called the Advocacy Network. Carl, welcome back to the program.
It's so great to be with you, Don. Thanks very much.
Well, it's always a pleasure having you on the program. It's really fascinating what you folks do. Tell us again what the Advocacy Network's all about.
Well, we work very hard to eliminate all forms of financial victimization. You know, that includes scams, fraud, predatory sales tactics, and we do that through creating awareness. A lot of our information is free for the public, and we also provide financial literacy education. Those workshops are free. And then most importantly, we help people on this journey to financial independence, because that's where a lot of the victimization seems to be.
Well, you know, Carl, a lot of victimization appears to be on the horizon with the hacking of the Equifax database. Something like, I think it was 143 million Americans have been affected by that. Do you anticipate a lot of trouble coming down the line because of that?
I think, Don, I think that somewhat this has become, sadly, this has become a common occurrence And I'm just wondering what the impact is going to be. We already know that financial, identity theft is really one of the greatest crimes in our society, but it's just interesting to me that I'm not sure how much deeper identity theft can get. But I do know this. We don't have protection of our personal information and our very, very important financial information.
Well, of course, it would be nice if the Equifax hack resulted in everybody getting an 800 credit score, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. People are concerned about payday loans being made in their name and this kind of thing. What can people do that are concerned to protect themselves? How can you help, so to speak?
Well, from our perspective, we really try to help people understand how these kind of things, these events happen. That's victimization. Like, the discussion about amortization and paying interest for the rest of your life, and how the banks and the credit card companies and the merchants are waxing rich because you never get a chance to earn interest, because you just keep paying it. The next level, I think, of victimization, that's really kind of establishing itself is qualified planning, where people are deferring money into a higher tax bracket and a higher inflation rate into the future, thinking that that's going to work out well for them. So these are all very common things, Don, and I think what you're mentioning, people have to be very, very cognizant of their own personal information, their banking information, their passwords. They got to stay away from their emails that they're not familiar with, never link on to something they're not familiar with. There's a lot of phishing out there. And so this is what people need to do. They need to be very cognizant and aware because there's just too much of it going on. So they got to protect their email accounts. They got to protect their bank accounts. Try not to do so much over the internet, because we've gotten to become a society where we do everything, virtually. And I think we have to step back and start getting back into the older times, maybe go down to the bank personally. Those kind of things. So I know it sounds ridiculous, but I think that's the only way to start really protecting yourself.
Well, Carl, if people want more information about the Advocacy Network and what you folks can do to help, how can they get that information?
Well, they can call me directly at 321-947-3220, and they can go out to www.theadvocacynet.com. Again, Don, we have a huge amount of information and availability of services that are free.
The Advocacy, the Advocacy Network, Mr. Carl Schilling is the founder. Lots of help for you there at that website. Carl, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate the time.
Take care. Well, on this week's Money Wrap radio program, we're going to talk about the little rocket man in North Korea. We're going to have some fun with that. To listen online or to find a radio station near you, go to our website, moneywrap.com. Call us right now, toll free from anywhere in the world, 888-259-4449 for free information about our featured guests. When you do call, be sure and ask to be added to the subscription list of our Money TV newsletter. Again, toll free, 888-259-4449. Visit us at MoneyTV.net. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. That's our program this week. As always, we'll be back next week. Thanks so much for joining us.